Is it visible? So good morning
Yes,
everyone.
sir.
Good morning everyone. Today we are going to discuss about induction generator. Okay, so what is the concept of induction generator? So the induction motor running as a induction generator. Okay, the same induction motor that can be used as a induction generator. Okay, so what is induction generator here? Okay, so induction machine. So we know that induction machine, right? This is the induction motor, a three-phase induction motor, generally a three-phase induction motor. Okay, so what is the speed of the induction motor? That is ns is the synchronous speed of the induction motor, and n is the motor speed. Both are in terms of rpm, right? So what is the slip? Slip is equal to ns minus n divided by ns. So this is your slip. So generally ns is 1500 rpm and motor speed in terms of 1440 rpm, like that. So what about the slip? 1500 minus 1440 divided by 1500. Okay, so like that. So you will get a slip in terms of 0.03 something value, right? So now the slip is going to be negative. So when the slip is going to be negative, the motor speed is more than the synchronous speed. Okay, so this motor speed, it will increases above 1500 rpm, suppose 1550 rpm. So what happens now? Slip is equal to 1500 minus 1550 divided by 1500. You will get the negative slip. Whenever your motor speed is more than your synchronous speed, then you will get the negative slip, right? So the motor running under negative slip, motor induction motor running under negative slip, okay, it indicates the rotor is running is above the synchronous speed and the motor is generating mode. Motor is in generating mode. We already studied the characteristics, slip or characteristics of induction generator. In that, negative slip mode is called as generating mode, right? So now the motor acts as generator. The motor acts as generator. Okay. So generally the induction motor called as asynchronous motor. So it's asynchronous in nature. So because of its commonly used in windmills. So what are the applications of induction generator? So the applications of induction generator are, so that can be used in wind energy conversion system. So that is called as the windmill. Okay. So in that windmill, so this is the windmill. In windmill, so the generator inside, that is used as induction generator. So in the windmill they are using the induction generator. Okay, and also it can be used in remote areas for supplementing the power. So wherever the weak transmission line, suppose there is a transmission line is there. So in the remote end, we are not getting the power in that place, so they are using induction generator here for supplying the power at the remote end. Okay, so these are the applications of induction generator: power supply element in receiving end of weak transmission line. So now induction motor running as induction generator. We will see how the induction motor running as induction generator. How the induction motor running as a induction generator. Suppose we have the induction motor represented by IM. So this is acting as generator mode, acting in generator mode. So before it is connected to the application, so that is it is acting as generator mode. Initially we need to connect to some prime mover. It may be that prime mover that is coupled to the induction motor for running as a generator. So that is the prime mover. It may be wind turbine. Okay, so prime mover. So then output of the three-phase line R, Y and B. So that is connected to the grid or three-phase supply. Like this. This is the three-phase supply. So the active power and reactive power, there are two powers we have. S is equal to P plus JQ. So P is the your active power and Q is the reactive power. So what happens here? The reactive power that will taken from the supply for excitation purpose. So excitation means the poles are to be magnetized. Okay. So for that purpose, reactive power is taken from the main supply. So that is called as a reactive power for excitation. So after the prime mover, when it is rotating, so the induction motor is coupled with the prime mover. The motor is also rotating, and it is the speed of the motor n is more than the synchronous speed. So then we will get slip will becomes negative. So in this case, it is acting as a generator mode. So then the current is going to be in the reverse direction. So then it will supply the active power to the grid. It supplies the active power to the grid. So active power is called as P and reactive power is called as Q. Okay. So this is the operation of induction motor acting as a induction generator. Okay. Suppose the prime mover, it may be a petrol engine or diesel engine, whatever it may be, or some windmill. So we need to rotate the conductors. Okay, so we need to rotate the rotor. So and then only the magnetic flux will be cut by the conductor. Then EMF will be induced in the conductor. So that EMF will get the active power. Okay. So in this case, the induction motor is shown in the diagram, driven by the prime mover, and like a petrol engine or a windmill, whatever it may be, the motor is supplied with the electrical power from the three-phase supply. So that is reactive power that can be compensated here. So that reactive power can be taken for excitation purpose. Okay, when the motor speed exceeds the synchronous speed, so N is more than Ns, so then the active power is delivered. So this your active power is going to be delivered by the motor, and the corresponding mode of operation is called as the generating mode. Okay, so the induction generator, it is a not self-starting machine, right? Not self-starting machine. Okay, or self-exciting machine. Self-exciting machine. Self-exciting means we need to excite the poles of the motor by external supply. Okay, cannot be excited through itself. It is not a self-exciting machine. So excitation can be given from the other voltage source. Okay, here motor is rotating, but whenever excitation is there, then only the power will be delivered. Okay, only EMF will be generated. Okay, so it is not the self-exciting machine. So that it must be operated from with other generator which supplies the exciting current. The exciting current that can be taken from the other supply or from other generator. Okay, so that is called as reactive power. It will be taken from the supply. Okay, so it is of some fixed frequency, so which is required for the production of rotating magnetic field. Okay, so what is rotating magnetic field? So these are the stator coils of the induction motor. So these are the rotor part. It may be squirrel cage or slip ring. This is rotor. This is the stator. These stator windings are to be excited. Okay, so these stator windings are to be excited. It means the external current is given to the these winding. So then it will become electromagnet. Then it will produce as the flux. Okay, so you will get the resultant flux, that is called as phi r. So this will be running in the air gap. So it will be rotating in the air gap under the synchronous speed. That is Ns is equal to 120 F by P at a constant frequency. So then this is called as a rotating magnetic field that can be obtained. So whenever the rotating magnetic field is there, so the prime mover is rotating, so therefore rotor is also rotating. So now the rotor speed is more than the synchronous speed, it will act as a generating mode. This is the concept of the induction motor running as a induction generator. So when Ns is equal to Ns, what happens? Ns is equal to N, so your slip becomes 0. Okay, so because Ns is equal to N means Ns minus N by Ns. So this is 1500, this is 1500 minus, so we will get the 0. Slip will become 0. So under slip becomes 0, the rotating magnetic field. So whatever the EMF induced, that is also 0 here. Whenever slip becomes 0, EMF induced in the rotor conductor is also 0. Okay, so when the EMF will be induced, so slip will become negative. So then we will get the EMF induced in the generator. Okay, so under standstill condition and also under Ns is equal to N condition, the slip will become 0. Okay, so then when slip is negative, then power will be delivered from the rotor. So that is called as generating mode. So this is called as induction motor running as a induction generator. So we'll look at the phasor diagram for induction generator. So phasor diagram for this. So how to draw the phasor diagram for this induction generator? So I will draw the phasor diagram now. So take x and y axis. So this is taken as phi, and this is called as E1. If it is E1 means in opposite direction we will get this is called as minus E1. E1 means that is the stator voltage. So now we need to draw the no load current, that is called as I naught. This is I naught is the combination of IW and I mu. Okay, so no need to show here. And another term that is called as I2R. You know that what is I2R? So I2R means I2 means rotor current, R means rotor current under running condition. Okay, so therefore, so I2R. So I will draw this I2R in this direction. So this is lagging the voltage E1 or E2R. So this is I2R. You will get I2R in this direction. So now we need to draw I2R2 and also I2X2 and I2Z2. Okay, so we will get, so before that, so this I2R with respect to E1 by an angle pi to R, by an angle pi to R, and by E to R. This is the E to R. This is the E to R phasor, and this is the I to R phasor, and differ from the angle called as pi to R. So now we need to draw I to R in opposite direction to get I to R dash. So what is I to R dash? I to R means rotor current under running condition with refer to the primary side or stator side, that is called as dash. Okay, so therefore, so I will extend I to R in opposite direction. So this is called as I to R dash. I to R dash. I to R dash is equal in magnitude only in opposite direction. I to R dash. Okay, now what is your I1? I1 is equal to I naught plus I to R dash. So vector sum of these two. So therefore join I naught and I to R dash, you will get I1. You will get I1. So this is called as I1. Okay. So I1 is equal to I naught plus I to R dash. So you will get I1. So we need to draw V1 now. For that, so we need to draw I2R1, sorry, I1R1 and I1X1 and I1Z1. So how to draw I1R1? I1R1 is parallel to the I1. Okay. So along with the E1 phasor, we will draw I1R1 vector, that is parallel to the I1. So draw parallel to the I1. So this is called as I1R1. Okay. Similarly, I1 x1 is perpendicular to the I1 R1. So draw perpendicular to the I1 R1. This is called as I1 x1. So now join these two. This will give I1 Z1. I1 into Z1. So what is V1? V1 is equal to this minus E1 plus I1 into Z1. Okay. So combination of E1 and Z1, this will give the V1. So now join these two. This is called as V1. This is called as V1. So angle between V1 and I1, that is called as phi 1. Angle between V1 and I1. So that is called as phi R phi 1. Okay. So this is the phasor diagram of induction generator. Phasor diagram of induction generator. So here I2R leads the voltage minus of E2R. Okay, leads the voltage of E2R. So leading. So here, so in this direction means this is the leading by an angle phi to R. Okay, and the angle between V1 and I1, so that is called as phi. So that is more than 90 degree here. So angle between V1 and I1, angle phi is, that is more than 90 degree for generating mode. For generating mode, it is more than 90 degree, which shows the electrical power of the machine is negative. So it is supplying the power. So hence it is called as supplying the power. Thus the rotor is rotated above the synchronous speed. The rotor rotates above the synchronous speed. So this will give the negative slip. Okay. So with the rotating field remaining the same direction, and then the direction of the results, that is reverse of rotor EMF, current and torque, the machine is said to be operating in a generating mode. So this is the phasor diagram of induction generator. Is it clear? Is it clear? Phasor diagram of induction generator. Lumina?
Yes, sir.
So next we will see okay. So externally isolated induction generator. So what is externally isolated induction generator? Okay, so this means suppose we have induction motor or induction load, that is connected to the three-phase supply. Have three-phase supply. Okay, so load side, and it is also connected the synchronous machine, that is the generator, also connected to the same grid. So externally excitation. So external excitation is requiring for external source. for its excitation. It is always connected to a AC supply, and generally it is operated in a parallel with the synchronous motion. So here in this case, so induction motor running as an induction generator, for induction generator, okay, so this is connected external to the synchronous machine. Okay, either in the previous case we have directly connected to the line, that is RYB. So in this case he has shown without the connected to the grid. So we will take the supply from the other generator. Okay, this is another generator from the other synchronous machine. The reactive power, so that will given to the induction load. So that is induction generator for, that is the reactive power for excitation purpose. So this is called as externally isolated induction generator. That is called as external excitation that can be given for the induction generator for the poles excitation. Okay, and other operations are same. Okay, so next concept is isolated induction generator. Isolated induction generator. So this is also called as self-excited induction generator. In previous case, the excitation is taken from other source, that is other synchronous machine. So in this case, self-excitation of induction generator. So that diagram is going to discuss. How it is connected? Suppose this is your induction generator or induction motor running as an induction generator. Induction generator. So induction generator is coupled with prime mover, right? It is coupled with prime mover. Okay. So then the output of induction generator connected to the grid or load, right? Load. So output power that is generated is P. Okay. For excitation, for exciting the poles of the generator. For excitation means excitation current that has to be given to the stator poles. So we need some supply. So that is called as we need reactive power for that one. So how to get that reactive power for the excitation of induction generator? So that is reactive power that can be obtained by a capacitors. A capacitors are connected in delta fashion. Delta connection. Okay, so take 3 capacitors in delta fashion. So this is called as capacitor bank. This capacitor bank is connected to the same lines. Yeah. Okay, so this capacitor bank, it will supply the reactive power to the line. So that reactive power that will be used by the induction generator for excitation purpose, and whenever Ns is more than N, the slip is negative. Okay, the motor is acting in a generating mode. Then it will supply the active power to the load. So this is called as isolated induction generator or self-excited induction generator. The excitation, it will be taken from the self, so it is does not connected to the external supply. Okay, so excitation, it is not coming from any external generator, okay, or external supply, three-phase supply. Okay, so the excitation will be taken from the some modification, some arrangement by using the capacitor bank. Okay, so therefore we will get the active power from the induction generator, and also Q, the reactive power also you will get. Some of the reactive power it will be utilized for the excitation, and remaining reactive power will also go through the load. Okay, so this is induction generator can work even without a external supply. A three-phase delta connected capacitor bank is connected across the terminal of the machine and provide the necessary excitation, that is called as Q. Okay, and the reactive power, that is supplied by the magnetizing current. So what is the current flowing here? This is called as the magnetizing current because of excitation. So due to this, the generator is loaded under this condition. The operating frequency depending upon the primarily upon rotor speed, but it affected by the load. So while voltage is mainly decided by the capacitor reactance, that is called as Xc. Xc is the capacitor reactance. The voltage is depending upon this Xc. Okay, so at operating frequency. So the voltage appear across the three-phase capacitor bank, that is giving rise to the leading current drawn by the capacitor bank. Okay, because of capacitive load, whatever the current is there, so that is in leading in nature. So leading current you will get. So this is equivalent to the lagging current supplied back to the generator. Okay, so that leading current that is supplying to the induction motor, so our induction generator, so the both are cancel each other. So active power we will get at the load. So this is isolated induction generator or self-excited induction generator. So there are some of the advantages of this. Advantages and limitations. We will see what are the advantages and limitations of this. So induction generator has a robust construction, so requiring a less maintenance, and it is relatively very cheap. Hence we are going for the induction generator. So it is very cheaply available and robust construction. So these are the advantages. And synchronization of for induction generator is not required. Okay, we have studied what is synchronization. Synchronization means so parallel operation of group of generators. Okay, when you connect the number of parallel generators in parallel, so we need synchronization. So synchronizing parallel is required. So we need to follow the all the conditions, necessary conditions for synchronization. Voltage must be equal, phase equal, frequency. So you are doing all the experiment, right? So this is not required in case of induction generator. So this synchronization is required for alternator, but in case of induction generator, this problem is not there. So we can connect number of induction generator parallel without synchronization. Okay, synchronization is not required. This is one of the advantage, and it runs in parallel without hunting effect. That is, whenever in the synchronous generator, we have studied in the last semester what is hunting. Hunting is the some of the oscillations we are getting whenever you connect in the parallel. Okay, so those oscillations we are not getting in case of induction generator. Okay, so hunting effect is not there, and it has a self-protective feature. Okay, it has a self-protective feature because whenever the short circuit occurs, any fault occurs on the system, so what happens? The excitation will get removed. Automatically, excitation will fail. The machine will stop. Okay, so due to short circuit, So what happens? The machine will stop. So the generation. So that is the only thing will be happening. So other any effects, that is the hazards, that not will be taken because of the short circuit. So because it is a self-protective feature, we need does not connect any other protective device to open the circuit. So automatically whenever the short circuit is happen, so there is no reactive power, that is for the excitation purpose, that is going to be open. So then the generator, it will stop the generation, that's all. Okay, and it is more suitable for high speed operation. So these are some of the advantages of induction generator, and some of the limitations are there. Induction generator cannot generate the reactive power. Okay, cannot generate the reactive power. The Q is not produced here. Okay, it will produce only P. P is the active power. So it requires reactive power from the supply lines for the furnace for excitation. Okay, that is the only limitation is. So we need to use some external excitation for the poles purpose. Okay, for electromagnetic purpose, electromagnetization for the poles, we require some reactive power for the excitation purpose. Okay, that is the only limitation, that is taken from the external supply or some other generator or some capacitor bank. Okay, so the load is not deciding the power factor of the induction generator, but the power factor depends upon the slip. Okay, power factor cos pi, it is depends upon the slip of the generator. And what are the applications of induction generator? So it is used in the railway braking purpose, that is the regenerative braking. Braking mode. So the motor, induction motor, it will be run in three mode: motoring mode, generating mode, and braking mode. So this braking mode, that will be used in some railway braking purpose also, and alternative energy source like windmills. So in windmills also used as a generating mode, and it is used as wind energy recovery system for the large scale power generation. Whenever the large scale power generation is required, so wind energy recovery system. So wind energy is converted into electrical energy. So where it is used the supply additional power to the load. So in any line, so we require additional load along with your generation. So we can connect the induction generator for additional power supply in the remote areas being supplied by the weak transmission line. So these are some of the applications of induction generator. And some importance of induction generator in windmill is the induction generator is extremely important in wind power electricity generation system. It is suitable because the stator frequency depends upon the parallel synchronous motion, and it does not on the rotor speed. Okay, so the frequency does not depends upon the rotor speed, it is depending upon the stator frequency. So that is one of the importance of generator in windmill. And induction generator is most commonly used in wind turbine. Okay, because of low cost. The cost is less compared to the other generator. Induction machine you will get in a cheap cost. And ruggedness means the construction is very strong. Okay, operate with slip availability in the many sizes. Okay, can the induction motor available in the various sizes from half HP, quarter HP, 1 HP, 2 HP, 5 HP, 50 HP. So the different sizes we will get for the industrial purpose. So advanced technology is also available. So we can control the induction machine using advanced technology, that is the VFD, variable frequency drive. So that is also can be used for the control of induction motor and generator also. Okay, there are so many advanced technologies are available. So hence it is very feasible for the induction generation. Induction generator have an outstanding operation in either motor or generator region, and they have robust construction and features. It provides the natural protection against the short circuit. Now already discussed, whenever the short circuit happens, so it doesn't require any other protective devices. So it is a self-protective device under the short circuit condition. And the abrupt changes in the speed are as easily absorbed by the solid rotor. Also, any surge in the current that is damped by the magnetization path of the core, so avoiding the possibility of demagnetization, which is possible in case of permanent magnet generator. So these are the importance of the induction generator in case of the windmill. And the last topic is grid connected operation of induction generator. So look at this diagram. In the previous case, whatever the same thing, same diagram. So that is connected to the grid here. Okay, prime mover is connected, induction generator is there. So the reactive power that will be supplied to the induction generator by the capacitor bank. So that is the Q. That is called as QC. Okay, and the after that N is more than Ns, so it is acting as a generator mode. Okay, the rotor is rotating and it will produce the power. So this is called as PIG, that is the induction generated power. So that is supplied to the grid. So grid means that is a bus bar or it is the supply line, infinite net voltage or infinite bus bar, we can call it as. So that is called as a grid. So the power will be supplied to the grid. So this grid, it is connected. So many generators are there and so many load is connected to the grid. Okay. So many customers are connected to the grid. Okay, this is some infinite bus bar. So we can, whatever the generated power that can be given to the grid. So this is called as grid connected operation of induction generator. So this is called as pre-grid. So also we will get the reactive power from the grid. Q is also getting. Okay, so that is the Q grid, and also Q is also compensated from the capacitor bank. That is called as the QC. So grid connected induction generator. So look here, induction generator is usually to supply the power to the grid, but main concern while operating in the grid connected to the system, that is the low power factor. Because of the low power factor, so we will use the capacitor bank to improve the power factor, and induction generator draws the magnetizing current. So that is magnetizing current called as a IM or IMU. Okay, from the grid, and it is called as in the negative slip region. So slip will be negative. Under this region, it lags the voltage by more than the 90 degree. Thus, that is called as the generating mode. So therefore, the power factor angle, it varies from 90 degree to 180 degree. Hence, it requires the reactive power and it will suffer from the very low power factor. For that purpose, the reactive power compensation will connect the capacitor bank and to improve the power factor. To improve the power factor and satisfy the reactive power requirement, a capacitor bank is used for the induction generator. It is connected to the grid. So what happens now? The grid connected induction generator. So it has a real power output. We will get the real power output. Real power or active power, both are same. P is called as a real power or active power, and Q is called as a reactive power. Okay, so in this case, QI grid, it is called reactive power drawn from the grid, and QIG is a reactive power absorbed by the induction generator. Okay, and QC is the reactive power delivered from the capacitor bank. So the reactive power drawn from the grid causes the large inrush current and the voltage drop, which is compensated by the shunt capacitor bank, will give the reactive power, that is called as QC. So this is the grid connected operation of induction generator. So in today's class, we have discussed the induction generator working principle. So how the induction motor is running as an induction generator. Okay, so then we have discussed about the phasor diagram and externally isolated induction generator and isolated induction generator, that is called a self-excitation induction generator through the capacitor banks, and advantages, limitations and applications, and importance of induction generator in windmill and grid connected operation of induction generator. Okay, next class we will discuss about the next model. So this completes the this induction mode generator mode. So thank you very much. If anybody having any doubts, please ask your doubt. Okay, shall we close? Thank you.